Running Funnels. This is Susan Trumpler from Unstoppable Women in Business, and it is so good to be here with you today. Women Running Funnels is my every Wednesday at noon Eastern LinkedIn Live show that is also rebroadcast across multiple channels, YouTube, Facebook, business pages. I also have a guest with me today who's also restreaming it. So we are going to have so much fun today talking about a very specific type of a funnel, a sales funnel that can be magical. It's new. I think it's newer, on the newer end, and fresh, and has so much potential to it. And what I'm talking about here is running a retreat funnel. All right. So I brought with me today a guest, and I'm going to call her actually a friend, because the name of this show is Women Running Funnels with Susan Trumpler and Friends. And Meredith Vaish from Pausebox Co. is a friend of mine. She started out as a client, and as most clients do, we create relationship and have become very much friends. And I love having her. So I'm going to introduce Meredith Vaish to you. I'm bringing Meredith up. Hello, Miss Meredith. How are
Hello,
you?
Susan. Yes, I am so happy to be here and talk about funnels with you and frankly learn a few things and share my journey.
Awesome. Meredith, the reason that, well, first of all, I just follow you,
Oh,
and
thank you.
I love what you've been doing. But I not only love what you're doing now, I love your story about how you came to form the company Pausebox. Because Meredith lives in the coveted Silicon Valley area of our United States, and you were in it. You were
Yeah,
in it deep.
it's the hustle capital of the world. And yeah, my story, the quick version is I was at Stanford running marketing and communications as a strategist. I did that for 16 years, raised two kids, and did it all. And I was constantly the one people tapped for, like, all the hard things, and like, well, Meredith will get it done. And I coveted that title because I was the getter doner. And it came at a huge cost to my health and my sanity and my ability just to connect with my own soul. And it all came to a head. I had a huge repetitive stress injury that immobilized me. I was forced to take a rest by my HR department, which didn't come easily for me. I'm like, what do you mean? I have another hand? What? Yeah. So it was that recovery process that, like, tuned me into the assault that we have on our body while we're overworking and overdoing and pleasing and performing. And so in one of those, I was actually at acupuncture, and in that moment I just knew in my bones that I couldn't heal in a corporate environment, that I was ready to just set sail creatively and figure out what it is that I'm supposed to do in the world. And I also wanted to send the message to other women, you know, not to have to kill themselves to succeed. So that's always been the balance. It's still a balance. I'm an entrepreneur now, and it's still a balance. And that's why my company is called Pausebox.
I love it. I love it. And Meredith, I'm not kidding you guys. This isn't just what Meredith does. It is how Meredith lives her life. I respect you so much, Meredith, for
Thank you, Susan.
holding your boundaries and really being very intentional about the energy you put into your business and,
Yeah.
how you show up.
It's all about the energy. And I appreciate Susan not making fun of me when I'm like, well, the energy is just, I'm not getting it right now. I'm going to wait. And she's like, okay, I respect that. And I always get back in, and it always works out. But what I realized, I cannot rely on my pushing and my forcing, because
Yeah.
those are skills that I have gotten so good at. And I mean, I can get it done, but at a huge cost. So
Yeah.
now my life is about, can you trust? And what happens when you're in that receiving mode of, like, waiting till you're inspired, waiting till things feel like aligned, and then moving.
Yeah.
So not rushing the ball, it's a
Beautiful.
tough, it's a tough one, but it's my constant lesson. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Because as a coach and you are my client, I expect that I will teach you something, but it's a beautiful thing when your client teaches you.
Oh,
And you
oh,
really, oh
thank you,
man,
sweetie.
you really helped me uh, continue to check myself on how
Mhm.
much of me I'm willing to put into the business and how much I need to reserve in order to be a whole person. And I think that's
Mm,
huge. It's
love
huge.
that. Thank you.
Anyway, this is a funny part of the conversation because I said, Meredith, I've been watching her. She just ran a beautiful retreat in Sedona, Arizona.
Sedona.
And
Ah.
I told her I was watching her social media and having a lot of FOMO. And not only Meredith, but I've seen a couple other folks. I've been invited to retreats, and I'm like, okay, this is big. I
Mm,
think, Meredith, I think the timing of this, with everyone having been cooped up for so long with COVID, right? People are dying to
to
kind
get
of just
out.
commune with people and get out into beautiful places, right?
Yeah.
So I said, Meredith, I'm running this LinkedIn Live show. I want you to come on and talk about your retreat funnel. And she said, what? What?
I don't have a
A
retreat,
retreat.
but what's that? Yeah.
Tell me what, because I think this is so good to talk about, you guys. As a sales coach, I think in terms of funnels, but for the mere mortals, tell me.
I had no idea. So here's what I have is I have this amazing energy quiz, which kind of got downloaded to me when I was thinking about how my energy vacillates and it's all over the place, and I go from kind of autopilot to struggle to hustle, and then sometimes I get to that kind of golden zone where I can really feel the flow and I'm totally dialed in. And I was like, if I'm going all this crazy places, I'm sure other people are too. So what if I developed a quiz that could help people land on like where are they showing up, because and specific strategies to get them into that golden zone, because that's where we want to go. I think even, I mean, certainly as entrepreneurs, but just as people, we want to be in that state of alignment and integrity, and our energy isn't being, frayed. So that was like the first amazing download I got in my business several years ago. And I was like, well, I'll just make a quiz because everyone's doing quizzes. That seems fun. And I found a software that made it super easy. So we can share that information.
Mhm, for sure.
I think it's Involve Me and it's a free program, dude. I'm not paying. I didn't want to pay. I was like, I just do the free stuff. And there's lots of features I can add to it. Now that I've listened to Susan talk about funnels, I was like, ooh, I gotta add some sophistication here. But yeah, I started as just a mere mortal. I liked this idea of like giving people a check-in about where they're showing up and some guidance about where they can kind of move so that they're really more powerful and more impactful without all the effort.
Right.
So I just designed that. It just started as that. And then I was like, well, so I guess I'm building my mailing list, right? Because people get put on my mailing list after they take the quiz. And I have to say, my mailing list, I think the numbers are like 70% or higher, 80% have come through this energy quiz. So
Excellent.
without it, it's really hard to grow your list. So I was really obsessed with like, let's just get people on my list because then they'll learn to love me and I'll have all this goodness to share and it'll build a relationship. And so that's where I was coming from. And then as I got more sophisticated, and I started taking on retreats, and I was like, well, I should probably cross promote that in the guide, because the guide comes with a download about there's different zones of energy and what you can do, but also like, hey, if you're feeling this, I have a retreat that might be of interest. So then I started adding all my retreat information in my deliverable.
Brilliant.
And then the other thing that I was really proud of, I automated a campaign so that when people take the quiz, they get their results, and then a few days later, they get a bonus guide. And it just takes them one level deeper on kind of the remedies that you can use when you're feeling kind of off energetically. Like you're like, oh, I'm just not feeling it. Ah,
Mhm.
read the bonus guide, and you're like, oh, I can do this, 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 and this, and get back on. So that's also where I promoted the retreat. So yes, it is, I guess, a retreat funnel because it is serving the function of helping people get awareness and giving me a call. I've had a couple calls on retreat that came through that, and one for sure that booked. So whoop, I think that means it's working.
Excellent. Excellent. So it is, and that's all it is how do you call people in? How do you get awareness around you around what
Yeah.
you're doing, around the value you offer, and then how do you nurture that relationship? And retreats are an amazing
Mhm.
way to nurture that relationship and to get really deep and intimate with people who could be your ideal clients to then take them to the next level. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think you did a really special kind of retreat. Was there some coaching involved beforehand?
Ah,
Before the
yes.
retreat itself? Tell us how
This
you organized all of that part.
For my first retreat, I put in all the bells and whistles. So it was a luxury retreat in Sedona for a week,
Mhm,
and I had 4 women, so it's like super, super high touch,
mhm.
lots of one-on-one. We had amazing experiences. So every day there was an experience because I'm not going to keep you inside. We're in Sedona. You got to get outside. Um, so we would go out every morning and we'd have this beautiful experience, and then we'd come back and we'd debrief. So it was a coaching container. It really is like the people
Mhm.
that I want to work with and who get the most value from working with me are people who are trying to figure out what's next, right? They know that they've kind of, I'm feeling a little stuck. I know there's something more for me. What is it? And this is the container for it. So in order to set up for that experience in Sedona, you need to do a little pre-work around setting your intentions. Obviously, I meet with them and we talk about Enneagram types because that's a passion of
Mhm,
mine,
mhm.
and it helps them get. It's kind of a fast track to like, ooh, yeah, that's what I do. Why do I do that? You know.
Yeah.
So we do a little one-on-one beforehand. Then we do the intention, a group coaching, and then we meet in Sedona, which I'd say one of the most healing parts of that journey is the other women. And we've
Mm.
all been so isolated,
Oh, yeah.
and especially around our 50s, like our friends kind of fall away and get busy, and so just coming together with strong women
Yeah.
is incredible and soothing. And then after a retreat, I'm not going to just drop you off like, here you go, you've made all this, like, what, and now you have to go back to your life. So there's a whole integration, um, group coaching program that takes you back into your life so that you can still hold on to that energy that you really tapped into in Sedona and bring it into your life so that you can make lasting change instead of just like, oh, that was fun. Like, this isn't a vacation, though it feels more
Mhm.
restful than a vacation because you're being real with yourself and you're connecting to your own guidance. And your guidance has been trying to get your attention all this time. So it's just so happy that, wow, I got a whole week with you.
That's fantastic. What I love the most about that is that it's not just plunk down into the middle of something and then go back to what you're doing, but actually
Yeah.
a journey. It's
That's
a
right.
retreat journey that they go through with you. What's on the other side of that journey? Do you have a program that it would be your intention to have them do additional work with you?
Yes, and in fact, that's kind of where we are now, where I'm
Mhm.
inviting clients to either come in to work with me one on one, and I'm also putting some final touches on my high level program. So it's more of a 6 month kind of
Yes.
higher engagement, deeper engagement for the folks who are really wanting to make the change because
Perfect.
we need support. We can't just do it in a week. We can do
Excellent.
a lot in a week, but
All right.
the sustaining power. Yeah.
All right. So Meredith, that is
Yes.
a funnel, my love.
Thank you. I got a funnel sticker.
A plus on a funnel sticker. You
Yeah.
brought people and you nurtured awareness around who you are and what you do through the quiz into the journey of the retreat and further on into work with you. And the, here's the most important thing, guys. I'm not that sales person. I call it male energy selling, where it's, like, and there's tripwires and there's upsells and there's,
Ooh,
it doesn't feel good.
right.
Um, but what I am into is nurturing relationships. And what you've done really extraordinarily well, Meredith, is help people get to know you in ways that help them become aware of the value you offer, deepen the relationship, and continue on as long as they're getting value from you. You have
Yeah.
additional offers for them. That's a beautiful thing.
Yay. Thank you. I love hearing you say that because, it's something as a small business owner, you're flying by the seat of your pants.
Yes.
Fortunately, I have a good guidance system that I follow, and I think I
Yes.
just landed here out of grace.
Perfect. All right.
And obviously working with amazing people like you. I mean, let's
So as your sales coach
yes, please.
in the moment,
What you got for me?
you do have another retreat that you're planning on putting together, right?
Yes, October 24th,
Okay.
Phoenix, another desert retreat. I'm
Mhm.
loving the desert when it comes to
Very nice.
transformation.
All right. Tell me all about visibility for that particular retreat. Are you because I love that your your quiz is the top of the funnel, but what other inputs do you have? Where do you
Yeah.
talk about it? How do you get awareness around what's going on for you?
Okay. You're gonna be so impressed. So down now that I've gotten this, the name of my retreat is Full Living After 50. So I'm really serving those women who are looking to fill out their lives because they've been depleted and they've kind of sort of emaciated life at 50. And then all
Mm,
of a sudden the body changes and then you're really like, what? So I thought, I know that story well. Those are my people. Let's
mm,
create a program for them. And how that started was, for the last 3 years, I've been going through changes in my body, mysterious, the weight gain and the crankiness and the stiffness and the soreness and the brain fog and the exhaustion and the blah. So I was like, I can't be the only one doing this. I bet other people are feeling this too.
mhm.
What if I gather all of the resources and experts that I've worked with over the last 3 years and put together a series? So it's a series of 6 conversations with these amazing experts, from hormone experts to movement experts to sex experts, because you can't forget about sex. At least my husband was hoping I wouldn't forget
Can we
about that.
say sex on LinkedIn?
What? Yeah, it's called the whole body.
Oh, I
Nourishment,
love it.
inflammation. Anyway, I'm grabbing them all, and we're starting I'd consider it kind of like a summit, but it's really a drip. So over 6 weeks, I'm going to drip one conversation every week.
Yes.
Women can purchase the series. So this will be behind a paywall because we have some exclusive discounts that these experts are offering. And all the experts are going to share it with their um, mailing list. So I have over 100,000 people that will get
Oh,
seen by because of
okay.
their sharing it out.
Okay, now you're
So
making my propeller twirl.
okay, go. Okay,
You
go.
just talked about joint ventures here, and we're gonna pause. We're gonna hit
Oh,
that, but keep you finish, and then we'll go back to that.
okay. Yeah, I think I'm finished. That's so exciting. Every person I went to said yes. They are happy to have a conversation with me about, full living after 50 and what the body is doing. And, the body to me is the gateway into the soul. And if you're listening to the body, then you're prepared to make some big changes in your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love everything that you're doing and everything you're talking about in regards to the content, okay? But you know that I'm so excited about
Mm.
is the fact that you've brought together these experts and leveraged their audience in order to get exposure for yourself. And that, my friend, is brilliant. It's
Thank you.
brilliant.
And
Yes.
can I just say that was an emotional area of growth for me because I have always been the lone wolf. I've been like, I got to control it. I got to do it myself. I know what I'm
Mhm.
doing. I don't want to count on others. So I realized that just to even expand in my business, I
Yes.
needed a different energy. And so it came very naturally to reach out to these experts who've already helped me and I have an amazing relationship with.
Yeah.
And so look at me. I'm actually growing into a collaborator.
I love it. You know what I love the most about it is it's very organic. It's not you, it's so authentic to who you are as a person. You didn't like mastermind this, manipulative event
Right.
concept. You came up with the concept and said, "Oh, I want to bring these people together who are experts." And then the light bulb went on. It's like, "Oh, and by the
Oh,
way, they all have audiences as well."
right. That's exactly how it happened.
I know you, Meredith. That's
Ah,
phenomenal.
thank
But
you.
to talk about multiplying your reach, people, I just have to put it out there. One of the things that I hear most often from my clients is I'm putting stuff out there to my email list. I'm posting on social media. I'm not getting like it's just so hard to get organic
Yes.
awareness, right? And so when you multiply that out it naturally is going to expand without you having to go that paid route or the
Yes.
other methods
Yeah.
that sometimes you have to do. So it's
Yes.
perfect. I love it. I'm so proud of you. I could just
I
buzz
get
like
another
a popsicle.
sticker.
Yeah, another sticker lady. Yay, Meredith. I
Awesome.
love it. I love it. All right. And let me just at the risk of squeezing you to beyond your I'm not
Oh,
feeling it barrier
oh
that you
yes, please
you're like,
push.
not feeling that, Susan. But at the risk, it's like, are there any other ideas in regards to how you can help your people understand or raise awareness around yourself? Because you have a gift, Meredith, that so
Mm.
many people need to know about. And I hate for you to hide it underneath a basket. So how else are you going to share this?
Yes. Well, there's always speaking,
I
right?
was gonna say,
I love
you're
the
such a good
speaking.
speaker. Yes.
Thank you. I just got invited to be part of someone else's kick-ass event for kick-ass CEOs, and some beautiful people are starting podcasts, and so I've gotten some invitations to be there. So I think this is the first year in my business where it's really starting to
Mhm,
be effortless, that people are reaching out to me and people,
mhm,
so it does come. I was worried about it, 2 years ago, when you're like, how do I get there? I
mhm,
think also being in service to other people
mhm.
is super important. I just had a conversation with a fellow coach, and it just turned into a little miniature coaching session, and she was so grateful that she went on, LinkedIn, and sang some praises about some of the transformation she had. These are things you can't calculate. So I think, and this is what you do so well, Susan, you just show up and you just authentically give to people who you want to support and who you adore. And that all kind of comes around.
It does.
It's a
It
beautiful
does.
thing.
I love it. I love it. You know, um, let me just, let's drill down in 1 second. You said
Yeah.
in the beginning it was a little hard, now it's becoming more where you're getting noticed. How long have you been in business with Pawsbox? Oh,
Yeah, I would say I'm 4
4
years,
years? That's what I was
3 and a half
thinking.
to 4 years, yeah. So
Yeah.
the first couple years is just figuring out my formula. It was, what do I do and who wants to pay for it?
What do I
And
do?
now I finally am like, "Oh, I love this, and this feels really good. I wanna offer this." And, yeah, so there's some maturity. I think for me, I call it energetic capacity. Like, my nervous system has to be able to handle the, like,
Mhm.
expectation and not flip into performance mode, but just still show up as I'm here in my sourced energy, and not in, like, "Here, let me prove and please and perform
Yes,
and do all the things that I used to
exactly.
do." I think that's the maturation.
It's almost like that trained monkey, the monkey that sits on this, and if he plays a song, people put coin in his thing, and you're expecting this exact
Yes.
exchange. I do
Yeah.
this, people give me this. I do this, people give me this. And I think that it does take a couple years where you're depositing into this value bank. You're just
Yep.
putting it in there, and you're putting value in there, and and that's what eventually bubbles over and begins to pay you back
Yeah.
in many different ways, in awareness, in clients, in just so many different ways. But I think it is frustrating the first couple of years in business because you're not getting that
Immediate
feedback,
payback.
right?
Exactly.
And,
Great,
and you're
great
like, does
example.
anybody care about me? Does anybody at all listen to what I'm saying? But just,
It's
I
ever
think we
gonna
have
happen. Yeah, well, I have a program now. It's called Woman Crush Wednesday. In fact, I just posted my gal. So when I work with people or have great coffee conversations with people, I make it a point to shout their praises, and so I create kind of it's like a little editorial about them,
uh-huh.
highlighting what they do, but also how do they pause. So it's still
Mhm.
supportive of my message.
Yes.
And it's so much fun. This is an easy way to get in front of other people's audiences because they're going to share that because it's all like a mini article about them. And so you'll get in
Mhm.
front of their audiences and you feel really good because you're just like you're singing the praises of someone you adore. So I think that's kind of a really easy way in year 1 and 2 that I just was able to expand the reach and be known as someone who's generous, and
Awesome.
who likes to give,
Oh,
but
Meredith,
but not overgive. There's a line. Yeah.
all right. Girl, I'm just so proud of you. I could bust. I'm
Fun. Thank you.
excited to see the success that you're having because you worked hard for it. I hate to say worked hard because you have how
I
would
did a
you
lot
put
of
it?
inner work for it,
You did a
baby.
lot of inner work. You
Yeah.
refused the hustle, but you thought strategically and you did the right things at the
And
right
I hired
pace.
the right people.
Oh,
I don't know which side you're on. I hired Susan. Yeah,
I
amazing,
love it.
amazing and gifted. You
Thank
are
you.
incredible.
Thanks, Mayor. I
Thank you.
appreciate that. All right. I know that the people listening to this today are going to get enormous value in so many things that you said. Meredith, where can people find you again, if you couldn't mind giving your
Mm.
website?
Cosboxco.com, and the energy quiz is one of those annoying pop-ups, so go ahead and
Oh, it's
enter your
good.
name and get right in there.
Yeah, it is. It's a great quiz. And the golden zone that Meredith speaks of is a place that everyone, every woman entrepreneur, every person should try to achieve.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you've got a really great option learning for them. All right, lady, thank you for
All
joining
right.
us
It
today.
was so much fun. Thanks for the
Uh,
invite.
a pleasure. And thank you, everybody, for joining us on the Unstoppable Women in Business Women Running Funnels Wednesday afternoons at noon. I'm here for you. We're going to have, if you'd like to be a friend of mine and come on and share what you do in your business and how you run funnels in your business, I would love to have you. And also, if there's anything that I can do to support your success, you can just reach out to me at susan@uwibusiness.com. Or, of course, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm there. All right. Have a great day. So good to spend time with you all today.